Welcome to Story Time. I am Reading Buddy. We bring you a story every week. Today we are going to read the rest of Chapter 10 of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Guardian of the Gate. Oh, don't forget to stay until the very end and learn a Chinese phrase with Reading Buddy. Ready? Let's get started.
Why do you wish to see the terrible Oz?
Asked the man.
I want him to give me some brains,
said the Scarecrow eagerly.
Oh, Oz could do that easily enough,
declared the man.
He has more brains than he needs.
And I want him to give me a heart,
said the Tin Woodman.
That will not trouble him,
continued the man.
For Oz has a large collection of hearts, of all sizes and shapes.
And I want him to give me courage,
said the Cowardly Lion.
Oz keeps a great pot of courage in his throne room,
said the man,
which he has covered with a golden plate to keep it from running over. He will be glad to give you some.
And I want him to send me back to Kansas,
said Dorothy.
Where is Kansas?
Asked the man with surprise.
I don't know,
replied Dorothy sorrowfully.
But it is my home, and I'm sure it's somewhere.
Very likely. Well, Oz can do anything, so I suppose he will find Kansas for you. But first, you must get to see him, and that will be a hard task, for the Great Wizard does not like to see anyone, and he usually has his own way. But what do you want?
He continued, speaking to Toto. Toto only wagged his tail, for, strange to say, he could not speak. The woman now called to them that the supper was ready. So they gathered around the table, and Dorothy ate some delicious porridge, and a dish of scrambled eggs, and a plate of nice white bread, and enjoyed her meal. The lion ate some of the porridge, but did not care for it, saying it was made from oats, and oats were good for horses, not for lions. The Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman ate nothing at all. Toto ate a little of everything, and was glad to get a good supper again. The woman now gave Dorothy a bed to sleep in, and Toto lay down beside her, while the lion guarded the door of her room so she might not be disturbed. The Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman stood up in a corner and kept quiet all night, although of course they could not sleep. The next morning, as soon as the sun was up, they started on their way, and soon saw a beautiful green glow in the sky just before them.
That must be the Emerald City,
said Dorothy. As they walked on, the green glow became brighter and brighter, and it seemed that at last they were nearing the end of their troubles. Yet it was afternoon before they came to the Great Wall that surrounded the city. It was high and thick and of a bright green color. In front of them, and at the end of the road of yellow brick, was a big gate, all studded with emeralds that glittered so in the sun that even the painted eyes of the Scarecrow were dazzled by their brilliancy. There was a bell beside the gate, and Dorothy pushed the button and heard a silvery tinkle sound within. Then the big gate swung slowly open, and they all passed through and found themselves in a high-arched room, the walls of which glistened with countless emeralds. Before them stood a little man about the same size as the Munchkins. He was clothed all in green, from his head to his feet, and even his skin was of a greenish tint. At his side was a large green box. When he saw Dorothy and her companions, the man asked,
What do you wish in the Emerald City?
We came here to see the Great Oz.
said Dorothy. The man was so surprised at this answer that he sat down to think it over.
It has been many years since anyone asked me to see Oz,
He said, shaking his head in perplexity.
He is powerful and terrible, and if you come on an idle or foolish errand to bother the wise reflections of the great wizard, he might be angry and destroy you all in an instant.
But it is not a foolish errand, nor an idle one.
Replied the Scarecrow.
It is important, and we have been told that Oz is a good wizard.
So he is,
Said the Green Man.
and he rules the Emerald City wisely and well. But to those who are not honest, or who approach him from curiosity, he is most terrible, and few have ever dared ask to see his face. I am the guardian of the gates, and since you demand to see the Great Oz, I must take you to his palace. But first, you must put on the spectacles.
Why?
Asked Dorothy.
Because if you did not wear spectacles, the brightness and the glory of the Emerald City would blind you. Even those who live in the city must wear spectacles night and day. They are all locked on, for Oz so ordered it when the city was first built. And I have the only key that will unlock them.
He opened the big box, and Dorothy saw that it was filled with spectacles of every size and shape. All of them had green glasses in them. The guardian of the gates found a pair that would just fit Dorothy and put them over her eyes. There were 2 golden bands fastened to them that passed around the back of her head, where they were locked together by a little key that was at the end of a chain the guardian of the gates wore around his neck. When they were on, Dorothy could not take them off had she wished. But of course, she did not wish to be blinded by the glare of the Emerald City, so she said nothing. Then the Green Man fitted spectacles for the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman and the Lion, and even on Little Toto, and all were locked fast with the key. Then the guardian of the gates put on his own glasses and told them he was ready to show them to the palace. Taking a big golden key from a peg on the wall, he opened another gate, and they all followed him through the portal into the streets of the Emerald City. In the story, the travelers finally arrived at the Emerald City, and it was green. In today's Chinese time, Reading Buddy is going to teach you how to say green in Chinese. 绿色, 绿色. Is your favorite color 绿色, green? Thanks for listening. We will see you next time.